I like to implement interactive videos. Right before I start my lesson, I always play a video, which is a good visual for my students. That video gets the students very excited, very pumped up about the lesson.
How do I keep my students engaged? Well, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of work. You do a lot of activities, try to get the class engaged. Sometimes it gets a little out of hand, but that's okay, because I'd rather have them get out of hand than just like sitting there like not doing much. So just activities. Sometimes we go outside. We have a rock pile out there that has limestone. So limestone has this stuff called calcite. It's the only mineral that's native to Florida. So we got there, after you clean the rocks, like you start to see it's shiny, and they love doing things like that.
When it comes to engaging the students, a great thing at the high school level is these kids, a lot of them know what they want to do in life, and if they don't, we kind of get to work on it together. We get to decide, maybe I want to go into this field, maybe I don't know what I want to do, maybe I want to go into college undecided, and we kind of say, that's okay, we will figure it out together, and it's a way that we can bond counselor to student.
I like to just let my kids move around the classroom a lot. So once that positive culture has been set in the classroom, I let my students move around rather than sitting still all day long in their seats. I like to establish station rotations in the classroom, and so the students can go from one station to another, working with literacy and math skills, and they get to work with their peers and get help from their peers, and they're happy.
And keeping them engaged, you know, there's always going to be the sports boy, for example, who doesn't want art as his elective, but he's there, so we find ways to correlate, you know, physical education into the visual art standards. Doing sculptural projects really helps. I can incorporate performing arts into the classroom too, and talk about how even ballet is important in football, or I try to relate back whatever they're interested in what I'm teaching, so that it keeps everybody hooked and having fun, because if they're not having fun, they're not going to be learning.
Most of them want to learn how to do the math, and I keep them focused with like a variety of activities, you know, I mean, like I'm a big fan of these packets where like I'm doing a little bit up there, they're doing a little bit at their desk, then they work in groups.
So first grade is really interesting because keeping them engaged and excited about what you're learning sometimes feels like you're a circus act, for lack of better words. So we do a lot of movement in my classroom, and I like to make sure that, one, I not only get to know my students academically, but I really get to know them on a personal level as well and build that connection with them. Because a lot of times what you see is if you can incorporate things that they enjoy into the lesson, it makes a big difference in what they really grasp onto and learn throughout the year.
I would say if it's something they're not interested in, I'm going to try to pique what their interests actually are and try to make it seem useful for them. And then if it's to keep them engaged, then I'm doing different formats, so videos, music, or just presenting it in a different way so it's not monotonous.